in the duffel bag. My little cousin said 250 for a paper tag. I got the 17 talking, some my leather jacket. The niggas try to up me, so I let him have it. Had to hit him with a bow, 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 bow. Gotta get in silencer, cause that shit is loud. I think I need a bigger scale, I just caught the pound. I'm the king of NB, that's why I wear a crown. Cruising down 6th Ave with a blunt in my mouth. I had to tell the teacher gangster cause it came from the south. I got bad bitches out here shaking, that's the part. They just pushed me in the water, had to swim with the sharks. Take a look inside my wallet, I got 20 racks. Take a look inside my closet, got 100 racks. I got bitches chasing me.
Of the NFL and its impact on not only like the money that I make, but for some reason, because I, have indescribable issues that are not really any of your business, sometimes my mood just varies based on how the Dolphins are playing. I mean, it's not something I'm ashamed of, to be honest. Like, they really, they just really excite me, especially the last couple seasons, bro. But yes, hello, and welcome back to the Miami Sports Bar Podcast. My name is Joey. We got a good one here for you today. If you don't like football, then we don't have a good one. But then I don't know if we could ever really be friends. You know what I mean? Like, who doesn't like football? I mean, come on, bro. We had a really big weekend. First game, Thursday night. Detroit upsets the Chiefs. I mean, I don't know if I would say I saw it coming. Or the final score, they ended up losing by 1. But no Travis Kelce. I don't really care about the Chris Jones thing. I really felt like, their defense played well enough to keep them in the game, and just Patrick Mahomes just had, every wide receiver is just dropping every pass possible. It was insane. I felt like, I don't really feel bad for them because it's like 2 Super Bowls in the last 4 years, so they can eat a dick, but whatever, it is what it is. And then obviously 1 o'clock games, all you really saw was a bunch of rookies playing like shit. Couple big plays from like Anthony Richardson and stuff, and DeForest Buckner with that crazy fucking pickup on a fumble that Trevor Lawrence. I gotta pull up that play at some point during the podcast because that was probably the craziest thing. But obviously the Jaguars ended up pulling that out. Obviously expect them to be one of the best teams in the AFC. After this weekend, I will tell you that my overreaction right now, right off rip, is that the Dolphins are the best team in the AFC. Not the AFC East, the AFC, period. RIP to Aaron Rodgers, RIP to Jets fans. I'm sorry. Obviously part of me as a Dolphin fan is just like, of course I'm like semi-relieved that I don't have to play them. Now I don't really got to worry about them. I don't care who they go and sign. They're not going to replace Aaron Rodgers this season at least. And then and the Chiefs, the way they looked, our defense was a little suspect. I'm going to just go through a lot of our plays today. There are a couple plays where our defense definitely stepped up and, things could have got more out of control. All I know is that when we needed to stop, we got the stops. And that's it. That's all you need to know, baby. And then, of course, with that comes back college football and the fact that we're busy again. So I wanted to be a double on Sunday. They scheduled me as a single. No problem. I got to watch most of the 1 o'clock games at home. Had to be there at 4. I walk in, a whole bar, triple wrap. Like, you know what I mean? I wasn't triple wrap, but that shit was busy. I walked in and just like, oh, you gonna clock in right now? I'm like, yeah, I got you. Go get my draw. I was like, damn. Kept behind the bar, and it's immediately just like, I don't do the math, was it 6, 10, 5? So it's probably at least 35 checks open behind the bar on Sunday. Pretty crazy. When I walked in. More after that because the Dolphins didn't play till 4:25, so there was already a big crowd. A lot of them had showed up, I guess, shortly before I arrived. But then, obviously, as the day went on, more people showed up. Nobody really stayed for the Giants-Cowboys game. Wasn't anything to watch there. R.I.P. Johnny. Justin, you're not. Sorry, Justin. I know you're not a Giants fan. Jameson and any other boys out there that I know that are Giants fans because, looks like another year of disappointment for you. I'm so sorry, my friend. But, yeah, other than that, football's back, baby. The Dolphins looked unstoppable. Before I go into that, I'm going to force you guys, because, I just need, opinions, My mouse is broken, so it's really inconveniencing for me. But I'm going to make you guys look at my fantasy teams. Okay, so I'm not going to pull up the sleeper ones, because those leagues are, two of them are basically last second, and they're a little bit different. Chase Young is a player, okay? Before you judge my name. Chase Young, it's funny. Obviously lost in our co-workers league. I had a bad week, but I mean my team is good, dude. You guys gotta check this out. I got Deshaun Watson. You know, I said he's not gonna SA anybody unless he's on your fantasy team. You know what I'm saying? He played well for me for week 1. Calvin Ridley, Keenan Allen, Bijan, Alexander Madison, Dallas Goedert, who had a donut, like a piece of shit, but probably would have lost anyways. Rashad White, Cortland Sutton. I mean, he's in there on the flex because I have Cooper Kupp and Jonathan Taylor basically on IR. And I'm waiting for waivers to go through because, waivers would have gone through. I'm not hiding anything. Hopefully I get this is a 12-man league, so this one's like a little rougher. The 10-man league, that's my high school league that I won this week 1. Me and Bruno. Oh, look at that, my little celebration on the screen. It's fucking awesome. But this team though, still Dejan, like Tyreek, AJ Brown, Joe Mixon, Jahmyr Gibbs, Darren Waller, Mike Evans, Deontay Johnson, who unfortunately got hurt, Alvin Kamara waiting for his suspension, AJ Dillon, Cortland, I just picked up Justice Hill, and then JSN, who's probably going to end up taking. I mean, we'll see. I think that the Seahawks are definitely going to regress this season. I still do not believe in Geno Smith. I don't think I ever have. But if they don't regress and they can have like some type of like wells or seemingly well put together offense like they did last year, I think JSN can definitely earn a lot of targets in between the 20s. That dude is fucking like his routes disgusting, crisp. And I mean I'm already here, so I might as well. I just wanted to like point out the fact that the number 1 quarterback on the week was obviously Tua touchdown Vailoa, and then the number 1 wide receiver was Tyreek, you can't catch me, Hill. Bro, that guy. It's just so, like, it's crazy. Like, because, I've gone so long without, like, just, like, having sustained success. And I know, like, last year, obviously, we still made the playoffs, lost by 3 to the Bills with Skylar Thompson, whatever. Excuse my voice, by the way. I have no idea why it's so fucking raspy, but whatever. But now you like kind of like get to look forward and be like, wow, because Tua's healthy, this guy, like, and I'm gonna show like later on. I'm gonna show like I put together like a quick like just all the games that Tua's played against the Patriots in honor of us facing off against the Patriots this Sunday on Sunday Night Football, and it's so funny the progression from Tua at the beginning when he had Brian Flores and like there's so many clips I didn't even put in because it's all just run plays. Like Brian Flores had no creativity with his, I mean, I know he wasn't running the offense, but a lot of it was that he didn't have the trust in Tua. Ever since Mike McDaniel's taken over, when you'll see those clips, you'll be like, wow, like look at the play calls that they were making and look at the different type of offense they were running and how much motion is coming before the snap. Like it's a lot more creative and a lot more fun to watch, and obviously ends up in these high scoring games. Where now Tua is just accurate, confident, a leader of the team, I'll speak more to that a little bit. But, I mean, if you're a Dolphin fan, this is the time, baby. This is the time to be excited. Like, no, and there's so many of us that are still just, like, so ready for disappointment, which is fair. I understand. I'm one of the more optimistic type of fans. But you got to look at it like, okay, so the game's over. Or the game's ending. We score the touchdown, right, with Tyreek at the end of the game to go up by 2. Missed the extra point immediately. Like the whole bar, just like oh my god, unbelievable, like because they just immediately have that notion that well that's it. Chargers are gonna go down the field and get a field goal or a touchdown. Like they didn't score on every play. Justin Herbert, matter of factly, got outplayed by Tua. Like when Tua needed to step up and deliver the throws to win us a game, he did. He throws an interception, which we'll see. Comes right back, throws a touchdown immediately. I can't even find. Where is this idiot? Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert had 228 passing yards and 1 touchdown. That's it. 5 rushes for 18 yards. That's all he did. Everyone's talking about because it's like not even the hating or the doubt. It's like, are you paying attention to what's really happening? It's the run game that was killing us a lot. we got a little bit more in control towards the end, and like we got some stops. And, like after they had the interception, they immediately went 3 and out. We almost hit them with a safety. But those are the things that you guys, we as Dolphin fans, we need to learn not to overlook the nuances in the game. You know, that there are little things, right? Like there's just so much going on in the background that it's so easy to just get lost in what you're seeing in front of you and what you're, you know, what your brain is reminding you of and all the heartbreak that we've had, because I've been right there with you. Tua had 466 passing yards. I should have known that at the top of my head anyways. With 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. That's what he had. To Justin Herbert's, what did I say? 220. No, not 228. He had 240 passing yards more than Justin Herbert, basically. And you guys put the belief right away that they're going to go down and score. I think it's funny. You got freaking football playing in the background because I didn't watch all the games. But, dude, it's our time. So, yeah, let's get into it. Well, first I'm going to say thank you to Gabriel. I showed up to work on Sunday, and when I walked in, he's like, oh, I have a present for you. He gave me this Jalen Waddle pop, and sounds like a candy. Jalen Waddle pop. And I obviously had no idea that he was giving that to me, and I was wearing my Jalen Waddle, my green, or aqua, actually, Jalen Waddle jersey, dude, that shit brought a tear to my eye, baby. So I said, if we win, I'm bringing that with me to work every time, you know, I'm working for a game. I was going to leave it there, and then, you know, I was like, definitely not. Someone's going to, you know, throw it away. That shit definitely would have gone missing. But let's get into this game, because it was definitely one to behold. I mean, obviously, we start right away. With some Miami Dolphins classic fuckery. I mean, you know, he really is his first play. That's Tua talking to his offensive line for the last like 3 years. And they show it. I don't remember if they show it. I mean, thank God it was outside, but like it's literally like, or no, later on when we actually get the real fumble. He's just snapping it low. It wasn't even getting into his hands. And this is like right behind the center. I just want to show that first. Tyreek Hill. You're going to see, bro. Tyreek Hill's in motion all game. Basically, by the time they snap the ball to Tua, he's already at full speed running a route. And then Jalen Waddle was just so nice to see him like healthy out there and make a couple big plays. And now here we are, first and goal. Terrible snap. Doesn't even really get to his hands. I think they show it. I gotta tell you, in this moment, like, I mean, I'm still keeping my fucking composure. It was pissing me off, bro. Because it was so classic Dolphins, like we just marched right down the field and then first and goal, fumble, recovered by the defense. And then they show the replay now. You kind of see it. Never even gets to his hands. Doesn't even get to his hands. Wish my mouse was working. Yeah. He snaps it to the right because I guess it was a zone block to the right. Where all the offensive linemen are trying to move the defensive line so clearly. This play I left on, I didn't put a lot of defense because obviously we were getting torched a lot, but we did make stops when we needed to. This was just a play where I was very confused. Here you have Keenan Allen matched up in zone coverage with our linebacker, David Long. Why is David Long? Like, why is he on Keenan Allen and outside? Like, that's just, I don't know. Vic Fangio, that's just some play calling right there. To patience in the pocket. Now, see, this one I left him there because I heard everyone's like, how do you, oh, there he goes underthrowing. There was a different angle, I swear, like, during the game. But when Tua throws the ball, I don't think it's much underthrown, as he waits too long to throw it, and what he was trying to do was get it across the field. So what I guess, I wouldn't say underthrown, like he threw it short. Like he needed to push that ball more to the left. He's basically becoming a post route, and instead of hitting him here, instead of hitting him by that 40-yard marker, but whatever. Of course, no biggie. Next play lays a rope to Craycraft, one of our unsung heroes. That's a fucking rope, dude. Right over the defender, too.
Hill on the move, two into the air, got by Bosa downfield and caught.
As he's getting his fucking face mask ripped off, dude. I don't know, like, a lot of people got to peep that. And Tyreek Hill, there's one of those plays where he's already starting in motion, gets the face mask, keeps his head up, completes the pass for the first down regardless, plus 15.
The completion of the 28, the flag looks like
he's really evolved as like a full quarterback. Like you just get to see like how in tune he is with the game and understanding and like how like to keep his composure. And obviously whenever he reached a touchdown. Happy for my guy, bro. Didn't have a lot of rushing yards, but he had a lot of important runs, some first downs, some big chunk plays. That I think they show the other. I mean, that's one of those where Tyreek Hill is already starting to play in motion. So he's already got a full head of speed. Literally just runs by the defender. He's going to go, see you later. And he's just going to put it right in the middle of the field. Where there's three defenders. He just puts it right to the outside, which gets separation from J.C. Jackson. And then on that dig route to the inside, that's in stride. And then he can go get that yak.
Smythe in motion. Fake to Mostert. Blocked by Lamb. And he's got his receiver again. Hill.
I also know what to say.
Them down. Michael Davis.
Well, we talked about the success that the Chargers were having.
Like it's just
in there by Eric Kendricks.
It was a good game, bro.
He understands what happened a year ago.
Tua really got to put on a little bit of his own show. Keeping his head up, play action, knows where everyone's gonna be.
First and goal.
I mean, I know I'm really like fucking dick riding him right now, but it's like I have to over defend him for how much people hate him. And then the maturity there, seeing that everything's covered, he's getting pushed, just get the ball out, stop the clock. I know this play we end up getting stopped. That's when we kick the field goal. This Austin Eckler run, I mean, that was basically just another thing with Vic Fangio. He's got like a cover two man, like everybody. I'm just like, how, like, dude, nobody was gonna touch him regardless of what was happening.
Caught. Hill. What a play! Going for Holland, gets him.
So they show it right here, right before he gets the ball. Look at that. So what you can basically see is that all the DBs, right, or corners, they're pressed up on their receivers. So they're instantly going to get jammed up. They're not making the play on the ball regardless. You got our two safeties that, I mean, obviously they just missed their assignment. They read it wrong because there's no way that this play should have got past both of them up the middle. But you see, once the play starts, there's no shot. Everybody's blocked up front. I mean, just like they're showing you, and then these guys just overcommit. I guess they did push him way too fast, and there's no shot after that.
Second down and 10. On the first and goal. Dolphins at the 25.
Tua. And it's one of those throws that's like, that's so on the money. It was just like greatly defended. But he's more aggressive this year too, like already. I mean, it's just week one, but like he wasn't like taking risks like that, like not worrying about the consequence, not being all scared. Like the difference between how confident he is now with McDaniels and fucking Brian Flores, bro. Whole nother planet. Whole nother planet. And look, here's another good stop. And you see what I'm saying? It's not like they were just like constantly doing whatever they wanted. We need to highlight our defense because, you know, I mean, Christian Wilkins, nice to see him just immediately break through. And once one guy breaks through and you start seeing, like, offensive linemen stand up and look around, like number 63 over here, you know you're doing something right on defense. Another play, Tyreek Hill already in motion. Stays patient, moves out the pocket. That's a first down. I mean, I don't know.
In the middle of the field, watch over to your left.
Look at that, beautiful.
He's going to release and go right upside.
See, he could have taken that. He could have thrown it over there to Tyreek. Kind of just missed that, but he definitely makes up for it later. Tyreek had more than enough targets.
Making a friendly catch.
7 after the Chargers timeout from a 42 for Tua. He'll go deep.
It's one of those throws, bro.
Boy, there's
Like that throw's like on the money.
Chargers timeout from a 42
It's just good defense.
for two.
Like and when I say on the money, I'm saying like he's putting it where like it wasn't gonna get intercepted. It was sort of like an unlucky tip deflection that dive that would ended up being picked off.
With the play.
But like that, he gave Tyreek a good chance to catch that ball. But you know, obviously it wasn't completed. It wasn't a great throw. So the whole point of leaving him trying to be like unbiased at the same time and show like we'll show his mistakes.
Ahmed the back. Tua on 1st and 10, looking for
He
Berrios.
just chucks it out of bounds, getting fucking blitzed. I don't know why we threw the back to Berrios. Like, it was there. And then when he throws an interception, throwing it to him on streaks. Like, that's a fucking beautifully placed throw. Right in between the defender. I mean, like, he's so poised. Like, he just doesn't care. How do you watch this as a Dolphin fan and not think, like, man, we have the best offense in the AFC? And possibly the whole NFL.
It's a 2nd down and 7. Tagovailoa caught.
So that's a good one to see. Tyreek Hill already in motion, running all the way across, full head of steam. Nobody even knows where he is, and he gets it right behind. He got it right behind Derwin James. Had no idea the ball was coming. And then easy. This is the Mike McDaniel effect. The beautiful play calling, causing so much traffic when the ball is snapped that they lose 2 guys. They lose Craycraft and they lose Smith. Both wide open. What would have been classic Dolphins of us is it would have been like incomplete or some shit. It would have been classic. But we're different. And then here's where we make a smart play. What we do is we call the timeout so that they can't run it out and we leave some time. I'm assuming they're thinking both ways. Either he misses the field goal and we have great field position, or we have some time to take a shot downfield, which is obviously what we ended up doing. The first play, when we get the ball back right now, is probably the most integral because it's a big chunk play immediately for like 20 yards. You see right now. And that's a great throw off his back foot to Jalen Waddle to get out of bounds.
Well, that was a very long developing play. They were able to get the completion up near midfield.
And that's good blocking by the O-line there, too. Another thing to note is that Tua was not sacked once in this game. Not once. The only time he hit the floor is when he slid. And here we go. This is why we made that timeout. Stupid pass, but even stupider defensive play by J.C. Jackson, who's supposed to be one of the best corners in the league. Just for no reason, pushes off Ezukama. Like, this is not a big dude. He was not going to catch that ball. So obviously we go ahead and we hit the field goal. The Chargers immediately went down the field, score. You see Tyreek Hill just continuing to be the playmaker that we need, though. That speed is going to kill anybody.
He's as quick as a hiccup, as you said, Kevin, but
he's also strong as a running back, and he reminded us of that in me. Like, fine, he doesn't have, he's not throwing the ball 60 yards down the field, okay? But he's throwing the ball 30 yards down the field on a fucking rope. Like, what else do you want him to do? And you don't need to throw the ball 60 yards down the field when you can hit your playmakers on 5-yard routes and they're going to take it to the crib anyways. And here comes the interception. I don't know what the decision really was, and then here we are, defense stepping up right away. Look at that, beautiful coverage. 1st and 10, no gain. 2nd and 9, I think they complete this for a couple yards here. We get the stop, or no, we got lucky actually ran out of bounds. Big clunky ass fucking feet. Cater Kohu comes in with a fucking blitz and just took him into the field. That would have been insane. I kept saying, I was like, if that was Tua, they would have called safety. And then on this play, which you probably already know what it is, it's obviously the first play after the interception. The first thing they need to do is take that shot down the field. Tyreek Hill said in the press conference that him and Tua were on the sideline after the interception, and Tua looked at Tyreek and said, "Hey, Cheetah, let's go make a play." And that was it. And I'm sure, they said, Mike McDaniel, we taking this shot. And, Mike McDaniel ain't scared to take no shots. So he was like, fuck it, run the play. And they were stupid enough to leave him one-on-one with J.C. Jackson again. Like, I'm sorry, J.C., you cannot cover him.
with the best beginning field position.
And this is just like easy, beautiful. And that's how you fucking respond to an interception. Like that's just like, you know, the composure, like the confidence. I'm saying, like he's a whole different guy. You know, he's throwing the picks in his first, second year that he was getting to play. They go and run the ball 3 straight times. You know, we would always get stuck in 3rd and 7, and then that would be the first time he threw the ball. He threw the ball. He has no momentum. He has no type of chemistry going. Like, and so we skip running for first down passes because we just have so much talent. We got to be real on that. See, because Connor Williams had 2 bad snaps, so we got to show Connor Williams some love and say, hey, Tua can fuck up too. But Tua recovers a fumble, 3rd and 15. What does he do? Plays around the pocket, gets outside, and delivers a rope on the run, keeping Braxton Berrios perfectly in bounds for the first down. And that flag wasn't against us, don't worry. Like, what a throw. What a play. Almost fumbles, comes back and does that. Like I said, confidence, composure. I'm going to keep saying that probably all season. This dude is a whole different beast. I don't know if the arm sleeve made him something a little crazy. Another throw, bro. That shit's crazy.
Wow, what a catch!
Because there was no replay up until that point.
When your guy is that accurate, it's really hard to cover everybody because somebody just gets, you know, a little slip and there's that rare drop by Tyreek. He ends up kicking a field goal after this because he gives it to Jalen or to Raheem Mostert there, which he made a great catch. But Tyreek catches that ball, he probably get a first down and score another touchdown. Who knows? 3rd and 10. What's he gonna do? Run up. Ooh, so beautiful. This is crazy.
Mostert holds on to it, grabbed on the play.
This is crazy.
Was it a fumble because it was recovered?
I mean, the pocket obviously collapsed on him more than a few times, but when he can make plays like this, that's it. And look at Tyreek.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Look at that top of the corner.
Still fast as fuck, boy. Come get some.
He's got Hill. He beat James.
Kind of looked like Antonio Brown there for a second and it scared me. But Tyreek doesn't take a lot of big hits. He's smart. I mean, you saw earlier in the game, there was a couple plays where he ripped off an extra 10 yards and he just saw that he was going to tackle and he just ran out of bounds. Which I'm totally okay with. Totally okay with that. Please stay healthy. We have Tua and Tyreek all fucking season. I mean, for what is about to be the game-winning touchdown that we're going to watch. Look at that throw. That to me was the most impressive throw that I've probably ever seen Tua make, to be honest. Because that had to be perfectly placed. You'll see the different angles. He had nowhere else to put it but exactly where he put it. And another thing that Tyreek Hill said, look at this, that in the preseason or in training camp at some point, early in training camp, he said in the press conference yesterday on Sunday after the game that they were talking to Dan Marino, and they were like, hey, he was like, hey, do you guys hang out? And he was like, yeah, like, what? He was like, no, like, after every practice, you guys need to get together. Like, you need to have chemistry. Like, and so what they started doing was Tua and the wide receiver group would basically meet after practice to have their own extra film session and just talk things through. Like, basically building that chemistry, understanding, like, your assignments, your speed, what breaks you're going to try to make when you see a certain defense. Like, I mean, these are things that, like, I'm sure, I'm not saying, like, oh, they're the only players that do this. But I'm saying that the fact that they are doing it now already showed in week 1. Because that fade to the corner, and then obviously the defense comes up huge here at the end and makes sure that we close this game out. But yeah, that throw into the corner on that fade route, the only way you're accomplishing that is with the chemistry that they build. Because he knows the speed that he's running at, what part of the fucking end zone he's going to get to, you know what I mean? Like, and it's really in depth, and you could think that that's, like, you know, exaggerated. It's not. That's just how, like, that's how the best teams play. And I mean, if you see Julian Edelman talk about his time with Tom Brady and other players, you know, like you talk about, like, you know, the chemistry that they built and the conversations that they would have where they, like, really understood each other mentally and what they're looking for and what they're trying to accomplish. on any given play. You know what I mean? Because it's obvious to say, oh, I'm just trying to get it to the open guys. But okay, the play got extended, and you know they're in a cover 2 or cover 3, or you know there's nobody over the middle of the field. Like, which way are you going to attack? Cause that's why sometimes you see those crazy interceptions in football games, or where basically the wide receiver just runs the wrong route. They go the opposite way, and then everyone's saying, most of the time people are like, what kind of throw is that? Those are the casual fans. Like, real fans know, like, okay, that wide receiver just ran the wrong route, because 9 times out of 10 the quarterback is throwing the ball where it was supposed to be placed, and the receiver either just made like their own read that him and the quarterback just weren't on the same page about, or he just ran the wrong route entirely. So I wanted to say, after this week 1 game, we are undefeated. You know, we're on track to be 17-0 and win a Super Bowl, so we can be the only team twice to go undefeated. And then obviously, of course, look at this. We got Tua, quarterback stat leader through week 1. Tyreek Hill, wide receiver stat leader through week 1. And then Javon Holland, 4th on this defensive leaders rank. I like that, per ESPN. But I'm assuming it's just really going by total tackles. But he did have 14 total tackles. I mean, Javon Holland was such a diamond in the rough. Like, not a diamond in the rough that like we got him in such a late pick, because I know he didn't. But like, I think that he has definitely outperformed his expectations and then some. Where now he's like a household name for Dolphin fans. Like, people will be like, oh, that's Javon Holland. Like, they know who he is. You know what I mean? Like, nobody knows about Deshaun Elliott yet, because, you know, they're looking at Javon. Some people probably forgot about Brandon Jones, who got to come back, and he actually, you know, made some plays too for us this weekend. I mean, we're in an exciting time. And let's just go through. What was this game? This was last season? Yeah, no shit. This was week 1 last year. I was in Boston for this one. I mean, really, it's just so crazy to think that Tua is 4-0 against Bill Belichick, where Bill Belichick's record against rookies all time is like something ridiculous. Like, I'm just making this up right now for an example, but I think like against rookies, he's, you know, let's just say 30-10, you know, like something crazy, or probably less than 10. And it's Bill Belichick. I mean, the guy's been a great defensive mind in the league since like the 80s. As much as, like, you know, everyone wants to bash him now and give Brady all the fucking dick sucking. Where Brady's great, I know. I've already had to swallow that pill a long time ago. Pause. But Bill Belichick is obviously, you know, the mastermind behind its teams. I remember that play last year. I mean, dude. Actually, I don't even want to watch this whole thing because that's just boring. But I want to find. This is 2019. And look at this shitty ass game. 6-0, missing a field goal at the end of the first half. This is obviously with Brian Flores, who reluctantly had to play to us. And I'm pretty sure, no. Cam Newton on the fucking Patriots, if you know about that. I remember this team. This year, that was a team that we had like probably like 4 or 5 defensive touchdowns on the season. Like, it was just, I mean, Brian Flores did, you know, provide Miami with a good like defensive, you know, team for a while. But like, he just, if he just didn't hate Tua so much as he did, which I never understood, then, you know, who knows? I mean, but I'm glad that we got Mike McDaniel. Don't get me wrong. You know, we're in time in the NFL that you need an offensive-minded coach. You hire a good defensive coordinator, bringing Vic Fangio out of retirement. I don't even know if he was really retired. To a second mission touchdown a day. You know, like, I think they don't even let him throw. Like, now it's like everything, you know, we throw so much. And like, obviously, like, I clip these shorter. Like, I went through all these videos just watching all the highlights. And once it like got before Mike McDaniel, like, dude, you're just watching run after run after run. And it's crazy to think that we've had Sullivan Ahmed since 2019. I had no idea. But yeah. I mean, guys, it's our time of the year, baby. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're still watching to this point, you're still a Dolphin fan, so I don't have to, try to make any special statements for the people that put up with me, because I know that nobody is going to watch this if you're not caring about football, because I don't think I could. But, I mean, dude, it to me is so special for Miami to have what they have now. Because what's really going to happen, and what I'm expecting to happen, is that we're looking at a dynasty. We're looking at a team that's built a strong foundation, a good core, with good coaching, with different principles, and complementary pieces that, that all work well together. We still have young players like Tyreek Hill. Yes, he's not old, but he's going to be getting older, right? So I'm talking about 3-4 years from now. 3-4 years from now, Jalen Waddle will be getting into his real prime as NFL wide receiver. Like, a lot of NFL wide receivers hit their peak at like 27, 28. Jalen Phillips, Javon Holland, Jalen Ramsey, we got him there for now. Xavier Howard's probably only going to, got another couple years left. Christian Wilkins, still on that rookie deal, wanted to get re-upped, and hopefully we will. There's a lot of guys. We have veterans in the right positions, but we have such a young core that we can really build something. And it all starts with Tua. That's the real fucking fact. That it all starts with Tua. I mean, I can't explain anymore how much I appreciate this guy. And I do have to give the caveat that the only reason that I have to defend and talk him up so much is because people still talk him down. You know what I mean? I would just accept, I'm not here talking to you about Tyreek Hill, right? Over and over and over again. We all know Tyreek Hill's special. That is the same reason why I have to talk about Tua too much, because not everybody understands how special he is. And you still have to prove it over and over and over again. 466 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. I showed you the plays. I showed you how his composure, his confidence. He was clutch. This guy's completing 4th and 7s, 3rd and 15s. On the run, getting pulled down by having Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa all game chasing you around. Shout out to the offensive line, except for the 2 bad snaps. 0 sacks, so we'll take it. It's exciting, dude. I can't lie to you. How could you not feel the fucking love? Well, guys, I mean, there's not much more for me to say. I mean, there is much more, but I'm not going to do a whole dedicated episode to fantasy football, which I would totally do right now. I went over just, it was hard for me. I had 4 tabs open on Google Chrome, the top scores from week 1, and I was going to go more in depth, but I'll save that for when I finally decide to create a fantasy football podcast. It's just a lot of stats as I go into it. If anybody's curious, I mean, you go look up Duffy's Fantasy Football on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. That was my practice podcast, and all I did was talk fantasy football just for our 1 league. And I have probably a good 2 or 3, maybe 4, 45 to hour and a half long episodes. All about fantasy football. I'm not talking about anything else. Well, all I can say is, fins up. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me once again on the Miami Sports Bar. I'll see you next week.